Welcome back to Kids Eat Toast Sometimes.
Welcome to being welcome back to Kids Eat Toast Sometimes.
Happy Monday.
Mondays aren't always the happiest, and we swing for the fences on a Monday.
Yeah.
Some people have tough days. This could be you having a tough day. You could have gotten home, boss could have shouted at you, girlfriend/boyfriend could have shouted at you. Heck, your youngest sibling could be bullying you for being more successful than you. If any of these boxes apply to you, you've come to the right place. Got a bit of KETS on.
Yeah, we'll make you laugh.
No promises.
No promises.
We are currently South Africa's #1 TikTok comedy podcast. Botswana has disowned us. I don't know if its diplomatic relations have been absolutely destroyed with South Africa, but we no longer chart in Botswana.
Yeah, it's sad.
Sad to see them gaborone.
Yeah, I had someone message me and they were like, oh, you Chloe from the TikTok podcast. And I was like, actually, it's just a normal podcast, not a TikTok podcast.
I'm owning that. I think we're a TikTok podcast now. Fuck YouTube, fuck Instagram, big F you to Facebook. Yeah. We're a TikTok podcast, baby.
Maybe we should... Maybe we should start streaming on Kanye West's platform.
Oh, no. Oh, Chloe, don't jump the gun.
Don't jump the gun.
So, as per usual, we've got our paintbrushes out. And oh boy, a palette of rich flavors, colors. And we're ready to get to work. We're ready to make art. We chat a bit about politics, about the ANC. The ANC can't pay salaries, which is terrifying considering how much money of ours they steal. We talk a bit about typhoid.
Typhoid fever.
Oh, yucky.
We talk a bit about Coca-Cola, their new flavor.
I don't know. I ruined this by saying we talk about. We are going to talk about.
We haven't talked about it yet.
This is all very much happening. So, like I said, if you're interested in South Africa, current events, news, comedy, having a giggle, maybe just this is your porn. I don't know. You've come to the right place. Welcome to Kids Eat Toast Sometimes.
Welcome. Hi.
Hi, kids. Do you like violence?
Hi,
if you
kids.
do, like and subscribe to the podcast.
Yeah.
I even shave for this podcast, which usually people don't like.
People are so rude about that.
I know. It's like, oh, you showed more of your face. That's disgusting.
People are ruthless.
It's honestly like if a girl didn't wear makeup and you're like, oh, the real you. That's disgusting. You should wear makeup. That's exactly what's happening here. So
yeah, I'm too scared to not wear makeup on the podcast after the comments, the abuse that you've received.
Yeah, I mean, the things I get called, if you're going to insult me, do it intelligently. Be like, hey, Frida Kahlo, got a small dick?
What?
It doesn't make sense, but that's how, you see, that's how I would have insulted myself.
Would have you insulted yourself?
Yes,
okay.
But anyway, we speaking of poor people, there are also nice people in the world.
Yes.
And a quick shout out to Nathan who comments nice.
Nice.
Quite literally on every podcast we make.
I think it's more nice. There's normally a lot of eyes in there.
Okay, that's got crazy energy. But Chloe, because you are the hard-hitting journo.
Okay.
Chloe Melville.
Yeah.
Die hoer van Balville. I don't know, I've heard people chuck that term around.
Only you on the podcast.
I've never, I've already said that on the podcast twice, never said it in real life. It's not a good nickname. What is our first news story for today?
Typhoid fever. That is. And it's a bit...
That is what? Typhoid fever, that is.
It is what it is. So, typhoid fever has hit South Africa. I know. We thought that we only had COVID, but typhoid fever has hit the Western Cape, Gauteng, and the Northwest.
I mean, irrelevant. I don't think anyone cares about the Northwest. Even those in the Northwest. North. You see, I don't even know how to say it.
In the Northwest. So apparently there's around like 67 cases in the Western Cape. But guess where it's coming from? The winelands, southern suburbs. Guys.
Guys, what?
Guys.
What are you talking about? What you've got to explain yourself. You can't have your inner dialogue and giggle at yourself.
No, it's just that I think that because it has a lot of the same features as tummy bugs. And a lot of people have been saying, yeah, you know, I've got a really bad runny stomach and it just won't go away. People have had it for like 3 weeks. I think, guys, we must be honest with ourselves. I think that typhoid fever is going around.
Probably. And when people are severely overweight and they say, I have a runny tummy, I go, you haven't run in years. So, my word, how far are we into it? And my dad jokes, like I said, we swing for the fences. We swing for the fences.
Yeah.
But what is typhoid? What does it give you? Stomach issues? Because it sounds like typhoid, I think it sounds like typhoon.
Typhoon.
Is that a word? Or does that sound racist? Bit of both.
What? Typhoon is a word, yeah.
Yeah.
It gives you a typhoon in your stomach.
I think that's why people are scared about it. Also, on a more depressing, unrelated fact, millions of people die from diarrhea in Africa. I never knew that. I saw that the other day. I was stumped.
Yeah, that's very sad. It's because of the contaminated water. So people are thinking that our tap water has got typhoid in it. But apparently it's fake news. So guys, keep drinking. Actually, I wouldn't even drink the tap water anyway.
Do you drink tap water in South Africa? And as a white person, I ask that. As a white person, I mean, I'm white. Because I was in PE and we didn't drink the tap water because our family said, don't drink the tap water. And I was like, we didn't drink the tap water. We're in Cape Town, I drink the tap water, but I'm like, what's the difference between PE and Cape Town? I mean, there are many, but we're both by the sea. So
yeah,
I've also had a runny tummy for about 1.5 years.
When? Just
a
recently?
1.5 years.
Up until present day.
Yeah, so, oh my God. So it shouldn't be too bad, but it's back. I thought, is there a vaccine against typhoid?
Yeah, there is.
Oh, so why are we getting it still?
Because have you been vaccinated for typhoid?
Only the Johnson & Johnson. The Johnson & Johnson was the one vaccine for all. If you got Johnson & Johnson, you're safe from AIDS. You're safe. Actually, no, you're safe from everything except for COVID. That should have been the J&J slogan. Yeah. Feeling lucky? Oh, well.
But yeah, there is a vaccine, but I don't think I've been vaccinated for typhoid because typhoid kind of came and went. We thought we'd gotten rid of typhoid fever.
Jeez, I hope we speak about COVID like that in a few days. But who's the super spreader of typhoid? There's always one. There's always someone who's like, you were the problem. It was you.
Shame. It's terrible that people get blamed for this sort of stuff. But so her real name was Mary Mallon, but she was literally dubbed Typhoid Mary. This poor woman.
Life will have you. Oh my God.
She got her own Wikipedia page. Shame. It's
She's
terrible.
the first case of recorded typhoid fever.
Yeah. Apparently typhoid fever the first case was in Athens in like 1430 BC. They think it wiped out like 1/3 of the population.
1430 BBC. Before baby Jesus. Yeah.
Jesus.
Shout out religion.
Baby Jesus.
Shout out all religions. This show is a mess. Sorry, back to typhoid.
I don't know why I'm laughing about baby Jesus. Anyways.
Have you got scabies? You guys can't see on camera, but Chloe's scratching herself like a homeless dog. What's going on there, Chloe? You're right.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay, just checking. So the health. If you guys, lots of people message us, want to start a podcast. I'm like, that's awesome. Always check on the health of your co-host. If they've got scabies, is that a word? Is it rabies?
I think so. I think scabies. What's that thing where you get
rabies? No, Chloe.
Not rabies.
Go back to typhoid.
I don't know.
Guys, I'd like to just apologize for myself. As you can see, I'm an idiot. Okay. So now we got that disclaimer out the way. Proceed with caution.
Okay. So they think it happened in Athens, but the first recorded case in the States happened in the early 1900s. Yeah. She was an Irish-born American cook, right?
The Irish have had a lot of problems over the years.
They have.
I mean, in terms of oppression. People don't like to talk about it because white slavery wasn't a thing. I mean, I'm not even sure at this point that it was the Irish, but shout out white slavery as well. We just have to be aware that these things happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Giggles nervously.
Yeah, I am giggling nervously.
Yeah, there goes all the ad sponsorship.
But it's believed that she infected 53 people, and of which 3 of whom died. Which which is bad.
Those are terrible numbers. They're so low. We've grown up in COVID times. Those numbers, you got to pump your numbers up there, Mary Typhoid, if you want to be a real super spreader.
It's just terrible that she was, she's been dubbed Typhoid Mary. But when she was questioned, right, so she was put into quarantine and then she was questioned by authorities. And she admitted that she never washes her hands. So this is a cook. She's like busy making food. And so she never washes her hands because this disease comes from bacteria after you go to the loo sort of thing.
I just took a massive shit, but... I'm going to get right on these potatoes.
I don't wash my hands.
Where is she from? This accent is...
It's Irish.
Oh, no, it's truly disgusting.
Yeah.
When was the last time you didn't wash your hands when you were supposed to wash your hands?
A couple minutes ago.
What did you do?
I always like to wash my hands after I touch surfaces and stuff like that because of COVID, but I didn't because I don't want to live a bit recklessly.
I know, just start licking surfaces.
Just start like touching everything.
No, I meant like, have you ever made a poo and never washed your hands and then interacted with the public at large?
Not in recent memory, no.
No, maybe as a child.
And you?
The one time when there've been a couple of occasions where there hasn't been soap after you've gone to the toilet.
This sounds like you setting yourself. There's been a couple of occasions where I wasn't in control. There wasn't soap.
It's true. There's, you go to a couple of these government bathrooms. I went to a government
blame
school.
the government, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a miracle. I'm sitting here before you today after having such a rough education at Sachs High School.
No soap in the toilet.
No soap. Well, the soap's been dropped too many times for there to be soap in the toilet. We've seen this movie before. But in terms of movies we haven't seen before, or will no longer see.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with Newlands?
I am.
Not as the suburb, but as the rugby stadium.
Yeah, surprisingly, I am actually familiar with it. Never been, but I know where it is.
Great place, never been.
Quite literally, yeah.
Okay. Well, obviously on the 17th of February, it was announced that Newlands Rugby Stadium will be placed on the market for any rich people who want a stadium. But no, obviously hot property and a lovely big piece of land.
Yeah.
But it's quite sad.
Yeah. So depending on who buys it, would it stay a rugby stadium or
it's
not?
a sealed bidding process, which means no killer whales will be at the auction. Or there'd be a lot of killer whales at the auction. It depends. Yeah. Animal puns, let's stay away from them.
Okay.
Let's just hop right through that one, please.
Okay.
But yeah, so obviously people have a lot of positive memories about Newlands, and it's overs. It's overs, people. What can I tell you?
What can I tell you? What's your favorite memory?
My favorite memory, so many. So I lost my virginity in the Danny Craven stand. Wasn't by choice.
Samuel.
Was her choice. No, I'm only teasing. Obviously, that didn't happen. My favorite memory, or the one that springs to mind, is when we actually left Newlands Rugby Stadium after 5 minutes because the All Blacks were playing South Africa.
Yeah.
And certain coloured communities in South Africa, because of apartheid and everything, support the All Blacks. Yeah, I understand that. Wada, racial tension, South Africa. Welcome to the show. And so people who live in South Africa support the All Blacks, especially in Cape Town, and Springboks were playing New Zealand, and there was we walked into this one stand and there were 5 fights.
Oh shit.
When you hear someone get hit.
Yeah.
It's not like in the movies. When someone gets hit and you hear that sound of knuckle on jawbone. It's
hard contact. Hard.
Oof. And so, we watched 5 fights. My dad, being the brave human being he is, didn't intervene in any. And we got out there. Good parenting.
This sounds like you went to an MMA fight instead of rugby.
Yeah, no, it was...
So your dad was just like, let's just leave.
It was unpleasant.
I thought you were maybe too scared by the haka. It can be quite scary too.
The haka is showbiz. Who wants to cancel? It's an unfair advantage for the All Blacks. No, the unfair advantage that the All Blacks have is they literally steal players from Pacific Islands. You want to talk about real stuff. It's not the song and dance they do before. Come on, people, it's showbiz.
How?
I love that. They should do more stuff. It should be that should be the new haka.
But you said that they weren't allowed to do the slitting of the throat action
they changed
anymore.
that.
Guys, how how like sort of scared do you think the Springboks actually get? You know, they're mentally strong. They see that and they just say like, bring it.
They love it.
They love it.
It makes the game richer.
It
also,
does, yeah.
people are like, it's too violent. You are watching 30 men collide on a rugby field for 80 minutes who are probably never going to walk past 40 and will have CTE, concussion and brain damage for the rest of their life. But you want to talk about the haka? About you open your eyes to the realities of the world.
Open your eyes.
Realize real lies. I remember in grade 10, I was like, this is it.
Was that your BBM status?
No, my BBM status was, you up? And of course, everyone is up, but no one messaged back.
Do you know what I found so annoying on BBM statuses was when people made it that every single song that they were listening to would be their next BBM status. And I was like, I don't want to know that you're listening to Taylor Swift's whole album. Like, I just don't.
But you know when people got into even more trouble for that is when they'd be watching porn and their BBM status would be lesbian licking.
Was that a thing?
It was a thing.
Is it anything you watch on your BBM?
Yeah, and then you wouldn't screenshot it. Those didn't exist. I know, we're kind of old. You had to munch it.
Yes.
And then you post that on your story, and then they catch you the next time you're watching porn. It was a high risk game, high reward, lots of fun. I wish I could go back to 2011, 12, 13, the golden years.
Yeah, that's when I was 11, 12, and 13.
And while we're on it, rest in peace, Betty White. We haven't, speaking of the golden years, golden girls, we haven't given her fair shout out.
That's true.
I wanted the rumors to quieten down. I don't know if she was dead or not.
Why would they lie about her death?
I don't know, maybe. And then she comes out and she's the new Batman. How, it sounds weird, but you'd love it.
Hi, guys.
She's so cute. But should we talk a bit about politics?
Let's talk about politics and violence. That was pretty good.
That was very good. You could become a singer, I think.
Maybe. Who knows? After I become Miss South Africa, maybe then I'll become a singer.
What? Do they still do talent shows at Miss South Africa? Like you have to do hula hooping or you have to do cards or...
I don't know if it's like that, but I do think there is a talent. Okay. Like with every pageant.
My talent is that I have the exact same opinion as the other 20 girls on stage.
Imagine if someone just came out and they just had like the most outrageous political opinions. They would just...
That would be a breath of fresh air.
It really would be.
I'd vote for them, except I don't think we vote. But Thabo Mbeki is back in the news. You know, Thabo, good guy. Never met him. But
most people don't know he was even our president at one point.
What? He was our president for about 8 years.
I know. You ask people, he's almost like a forgotten president.
I don't know about that.
I promise you.
Who's Jacob Zuma, Chloe?
I don't know. So, comment down below. Maybe it's because of like people in our age group, but I remember I was chatting with friends about Thabo Mbeki and they were like, who's that?
But he's been back in the newspapers, so I think there might be something coming from
What's happening?
The big T. Well, so he basically, that's what I'm saying. When these figures re-emerge into the media, you got to be like, what's happening here? And he hasn't announced anything or anything.
Yeah.
All he has been is critical of Cyril Ramaphosa, or the announcement of Cyril Ramaphosa running for his second term. And which is interesting because he says people are saying second term, it's a trap. If we take that route, then we'll be preoccupied with who supports who and forget about important national challenges. That's what he said. I'm like, that's absolutely right. But even before that, no one was really occupied with national challenges. So, you know what? Give us something to laugh about. And I thought maybe he's just sour because he didn't get a second term.
Oh, he didn't?
But he did. No, he did get a second term. But
that's then like there's one term, 8 years.
Yeah, he was kind of like coerced into resigning quite deep into his second term.
Oh, really?
So maybe he comes back. Maybe he doesn't.
Can you come back? Can you have another term?
I think so. I think you could become president
Thabo
again.
Mbeki. When's our next election? Next year?
Yeah.
2023?
No, 2024, I think.
Oh, okay.
Or 1994, 1999, yeah.
It was 2019 when we last voted.
So 2024 for 5, the big 5.
Yeah.
So that's quite exciting.
Okay, yeah.
What is your opinion on the current state of affairs, Chloe, of South African politics?
It's a mess. It's a big, big, big mess. And a lot of it I don't understand.
Who is your favorite South African party?
My favorite South African party? I don't know.
No comment.
No comment. Yeah, I'll play it safe.
My favorite South African party is when the Springboks play. And there are a couple of, you get a braai, everyone comes around. It's no, because
that's a good one.
The problem is that the DA suck, the ANC suck, and the EFF suck. And those are our three biggest parties.
Yeah. And then there's all these like random little parties. Do you remember KISS? Gus, did you think you were going to win with a name like that?
Yeah.
I think
Maybe. Cape Independence Party.
Capexit. Oh my God, I forgot about them.
The vampires who wanted to... No wonder.
That lady's scary, staring into your soul. There was also, I think, another bigger party is the VF.
Yeah.
Freedom Front, or how do you say it?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Freedom Front in English.
Thank you. Freedom. I just did an Afrikaans accent and hoped that was right.
Yeah.
And then there was the Green Party. And, how did we forget about the
Good Party.
The Good Party.
Ooh.
The Good Party.
Yeah, Patricia DeLille's boxing career I haven't seen her fight anyone.
Oh my God.
Jake Paul versus Patricia DeLille? I'd pay for that.
Would you? Who, if it was like a female boxing match, similar weight class, who would fight Patricia?
Helen Ziller.
Can you imagine that fight?
Helen Ziller would be my fighter. She gets knocked down so many times. She comes back, even when people don't want her to. She's back. So I think she'd be good at fighting, like fist fighting.
Maybe that could solve our national issues.
Just one big fist fight.
Just one big fist fight.
Jeez, I don't know about that. But the problem with all of this stuff is that you don't feel good whoever you vote for. So...
It's all just depressing.
It is a bit depressing.
It's a bit depressing.
That's why, and Action SA, they sound like your private security group that the dads have formed, and they do neighborhood patrols. And then all these parties just from time to time they do whatever is the popular
thing at the time.
And that was Trevor's best joke, I think. It's like the ANC vote for change, no, you're in power. It's like, yeah, we'll change.
What?
And that's kind of the situation we are faced with. In less serious news, crime is back and it's on the rise. But the crime stats were government crime stats were released. They get released quarterly because there's so much. Like if it was released yearly, they'd be like, guys, is it going to take a year to write up? But they were released, and they've got some interesting things. So provincially, Gauteng reported the most amounts of crimes.
Yeah.
Over 100,000. It's a lot of crime.
Yeah.
And this is followed by the Western Cape at 72,000, give or take. And then KZN with roughly 60,000 cases. Oh. And this is just reported crime. I think you could conservatively double or triple those because when crime hits me or those close to us, we only rarely report it when there is need for insurance and a police report.
100%. And it's even like a pain to fill out a police report. This is a question that I've had for a long time. Why are South Africans so reluctant to call the police?
I think because general distrust.
Not even in terms of that. Let's say there is a fire, right? I'm not even talking about violent crimes.
What is a violent fire?
Yeah. That's true. And if someone set the fire, of course it's violent, but it sounded like I was rapping into my microphone.
Super hot fire.
Super hot fire. But you see the fire and I'm like, someone else has called it in, right?
Yes.
Someone else has done it. Or I'll see someone driving a bit recklessly. In the States, if you're driving recklessly, there'll be 5 different people calling in. You see someone driving recklessly and you're like, just a taxi. You know?
Well, that's my uncle. He's had a couple of drinks. Chloe snitches get stitches. So check your. I agree, but I think there's general distrust because when something goes wrong and you do phone them, they don't arrive.
Yeah.
So
no, you got a good point.
And there's another article that I managed to stumble across, and it said that the situation is not normal because there have been 60. This is not a Checkers ad, but there have been 60 cash and transit heists in just 3 months. So that's pretty terrifying. And that's why I never fucking stand near those or drive near those things. Even at UCT, they always used to come and pick up money. I was like, gotta go home. I'm not going to be part of one of the first university school shootings. I've seen the news in America. I don't want your thoughts and prayers. I want to be alive. I don't want to be alive.
Yeah.
Logic.
You have to be so dry. You have to be so brave to drive one of those cash and transit trucks.
Yeah, remember that video I made all that time about? That was one of the funniest things I've done. It was that, maybe we'll link it, maybe we won't. Maybe you go find it, you go on a little deep dive.
No, we'll
get a bit of popcorn, you get your little sticky fingers from the popcorn. You just start searching KETS hits.
But
I don't know, people have sticky fingers. I was thinking of other things, so there was a natural awkward silence. What is an awkward is being hijacked. And obviously this comes quite heavily as an experience in South Africa that lots of people, have. And there has been a big jump in hijackings in South Africa as released in the crime reports. So some people have released and this is not satire, this is not us joking, this is a genuine sort of tips on how not to be hijacked, and I thought it would be quite interesting to read some of them.
Oh God.
And so Eugene Herbert, the chief executive of Master Drive, not to be confused with Masturbate, has said this: the best way to protect yourself from a carjacking is to be aware of your surroundings and do whatever you can to prevent it from happening altogether. Thanks, Eugene. That's some advice of the year. The best way not to be hit by a car is, just don't get hit by a car.
Yeah.
No wonder there's so many hijackings.
Be aware that they are cars and that it could hit you, and then just avoid being hit by a car, essentially.
Have you been hijacked before?
Oh my God. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
When?
My mom was hijacked and I was there.
And you were in the car?
No.
So you haven't been hijacked before?
Well, not me, my family.
I said, have you been hijacked before?
Yes, our car was stolen.
You weren't hijacked.
Oh my God.
These people got hijacked. I mean...
No, Samuel, it was terrible. We were hijacked.
Chloe, for people trying to speak for a living, you should be more careful with your words.
What?
People are going to come up to you in the street and go, oh, a fellow hijack survivor. And you're going to have to live with the fact that you're a liar.
Okay.
Make up your mind in the comments below. And while you're making up your mind, don't forget to like the video when you had a chuckle.
What a segue.
Subscribe. I hate these people. Consider subscribing. Just fucking subscribe, honestly. Sorry, I got a bit aggressive there. We're going to quickly cut to our commercial break, and we'll be right back with some more on hijacking.
So what are some other ways to avoid hijacking?
Well, I don't know, because I know people who have been hijacked, but unlike you, I don't take their experience and say that I've had it. But Eugene Herbert did release some practical tips. And remember, he was from Master Drive. And so these are some things that, and let us know if these are lame or not. So most armed response companies offer services when they drive you home. Make use of these. Do not drive straight into your driveway, but rather wait for the gates to open and then drive in quickly.
Yeah.
Reverse park into against the wall.
Yeah.
That just sounds ridiculous. And then if you feel uncomfortable with the presence of someone in a parking lot, call a security guard. So I perused these and I was like, I don't think I'd feel comfortable doing any of these. And it made me think of something else. And it was brilliantly covered by Robbie Collins, a South African comedian who's got a 15-minute Netflix special. Check it out. And he says that white people often get in trouble by trying not to be racist. And I was like, that's it completely. You're like, oh, okay, don't want to look racist or don't want to do this. And then you end up being hijacked and then leaving the country, going to Perth and becoming racist in actual fact.
Yeah. Fact.
And like the thing, like calling a security guard to drive you home. I'd never do that. I'd feel too cringe, but do it. Be safe.
Be safe.
Practice safe sex, South Africa.
I got one more to add. Is to unbuckle your seatbelt when you are reversing in. That way you can get out quicker.
Oh, but you'd still be hijacked. You just risk.
You can then run away. You take the car, take everything, we're out.
No, that's good. That's a good point made by Chloe.
My parents always told us to do that. And I was always terrified. Because I was like, why are we unbuckling our seatbelts?
The seatbelt's supposed to be for safety.
It's too young to really know what's happening.
Yeah. Oh, well, it happens a lot in Joburg. You know, everyone's like, hey, how are you doing? My car got stolen. You're like, okay, don't complain. This is how the week goes. Tell me you're feeling good. But yeah. Should we move over to some lighter news?
To some global news.
Okay, Mr. Worldwide.
Worldwide.
Also like to take this moment to remind you to move to Miami to lose your mind, Dale. Fly South Air to get to Joburg and then pay a lot of money to get to Miami. So what's happening globally, Chloe? What's your gut?
Well, first up is Michael Masi is out. He's been fired as race director, asked to step down. And
for quick context, Michael Masi is the F1 Formula One race director who fucked up Lewis Hamilton's show victory.
It's true.
No hard feelings, just facts.
Just facts. Facts don't care about your feelings, though. So
I'm Ben Shapiro. That was more Jordan Peterson.
Yeah. Always Toto calls him Michael.
Michael. That's how they speak in Peaky Blinders.
Peaky Blinders.
Michael. Anyway, so what's happening to the old Masi dog?
So, as Sam was saying, following the investigation into his misconduct in Abu Dhabi, blah, 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 he applied safety rules incorrectly, which means he has to step down. He didn't conduct himself properly as race director.
So, Tata.
Tata Toto.
From Toto. Yeah, there it is. So, he's gone and, sorry, you don't wish ill on anyone, but toodles. Anyway, Chloe, what are your give me a bold race prediction for the 2022 Formula One season.
That Russell is going to outrace Hamilton. I just want to put it out there. Maybe.
No.
Dream big.
Say it with your chest. Don't make a bold prediction. Say maybe.
True.
People don't like that. Okay. So, Chloe, you're saying George Russell will outdrive Lewis Hamilton in the 2022 F1 series.
Yeah. What's yours?
I'll go one bolder. Charles Leclerc, my favorite driver, is going to win the F1 this year.
Wow.
He's going to win the Drivers' Championship.
It's a real Ferrari.
Oh, God, I am an idiot.
Maybe that's not even that far off because Ferrari is pretty high and then Red Bull are no longer having Honda engines. They're now, what is it called? Oracle Red Bull Racing.
God, I don't know.
Something like that. But they have a different engine, which does put them at a disadvantage because the engine was very good.
If this all sounds like gibberish to you, which it used to sound like gibberish to me, just do yourself a favor. Go to Drive to Survive on Netflix, use your ex-girlfriend's account and watch it. Watch. From season 1, of course. You'll fall in love with F1. It'll be
so good.
Life is often a series of things where we need to find stuff to fill up time before we pass on to the next life. And Drive to Survive is up there in terms of time passing. What's also up there is Peaky Blinders. Chloe's become obsessed.
I have become obsessed. Sam was like, when someone tells you to watch something, and lots of my friends have also said, watch Peaky Blinders. And I was like, no, it's not my thing. It is most definitely my thing. I love Peaky Blinders.
Gun to your head, would you bang Thomas Shelby?
Of course.
No gun to your head, would you bang Thomas Shelby?
Of course.
I'll say it. I've said it before. I'll say it. We're all trash. Women included. Men are trash, most certainly.
You're trash.
But so are women.
Yeah. Season 6?
Season 69 with you and Killian.
No. Season 6 is literally coming.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not the only one who's coming. Hey, that's disgusting.
Ew. Okay.
But yeah, well, we'll see. It's one of my favorite shows as well. So historical, so violent, so lustful. Peaky Blinders.
I am Billy Kimber. That was really good.
Wow, way to compliment your own. No, it was good though. It was very good.
And
but
he goes, I am Tommy fucking Shelby.
You should have. It's like so many drug addicts and those addicted to addiction. Quit while you're ahead.
Okay.
Anyway, speaking of someone who just won't quit, the Queen has COVID. And obviously Britain is losing its mind.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what's wrong with those people. But she won't go. I would, if we could bet on weirder stuff or I could find someone to make the bets, I bet you $10 million that she makes it through this COVID scare. $10 million.
Oh, 100%. Apparently she's got mild symptoms. She's living her best life.
Yeah.
I think she just doesn't want Charles to take over, quite honestly.
Fair enough.
I
mean, we can't have vampires being in the monarchy, even though they do exist.
Yeah.
My whole plan, or what I think happened, is that she purposefully contracted COVID to give it to Prince Andrew to kill him, because one of Jeffrey Epstein's associates in France has just been found dead in a hotel.
Really?
So I think Prince Andrew. Don't want to predict your death, but I'd be nervous, starting to get a bit shaky.
Or just Andrew, as we call him now.
Yeah, just Andrew.
Just Andrew.
Or
Andrew,
maybe
watch out.
the Queen has COVID because it's karma for killing Diana. I mean, that's what I hear in the rumor mill.
I mean, maybe.
No comment.
Maybe. No
That's
comment.
fine.
Yeah.
Oh, well. In lighter news?
In lighter news, are you ready for some hard-hitting journalism?
No, lighter news.
Okay.
Coke Light.
Coca-Cola has come up with a new flavor. It's called Starlight flavor. What's up with that?
Is that it? What's up with that? Do you think you're Jerry Seinfeld over there? What's up with Coca flavor? I'm being like Starlight. I don't know, Jerry.
Have you seen it?
Yes, the bottle looks very cool.
It does.
But mainly because it's been photoshopped. I don't think the Coke will actually look that cool.
No, yeah. So Coke has said that the notes of this new flavor is reminiscent of stargazing around a campfire, as well as a cooling sensation that evokes the feeling of a cold journey to space.
Jesus Christ.
No.
They're working overtime with that. A what journey to space?
A cold journey to space and stargazing around a campfire.
Well, that's the most unrelatable experience ever.
I know.
Like, I mean, not a lot of Gen Z go camping, and then obviously more unrelatably, unless you're a billionaire, you haven't gone on a cold journey to space.
But why is it cold?
Atmosphere? I don't know.
I don't know.
It looks cold in space.
It's just bizarre. So yeah, people are saying that the new flavor tastes like space. Which, what does that even taste like? Let's be honest, right? It probably tastes like shit. It probably tastes like Sparletta.
I don't think that tastes like shit. I think Sparletta is delicious.
Really?
I mean, anything with 30 spoons of sugar per serving is going to taste good.
That's true. Okay, this is my guess of what maybe once we get in South Africa, we can try it on the podcast. My guess is that it's going to be a mix between what Red Bull tastes like and then the, like, red Sparletta.
Okay. Bold predictions.
Thanks.
You want to chuck a maybe in there?
Allegedly?
No, I think it'll taste like any... It's like whenever they did the vanilla or the, it was like it tasted terrible. Anyway, speaking of terrible taste, Kanye West.
Yee.
Oh my God, he's back. He's back on the pod. And, well, what can we say about it? I'm watching that Netflix documentary, Genius. Is it Genius?
Yeah.
I think it is, yeah. And that's quite cool. I love it. Like, he was just so unashamedly himself from the beginning. Gives me it's quite inspiring, I think. Yeah. Just like playing music at record labels where like no one's listening to you. I'm like, this man's got big dick energy. He's like rapping to the head of marketing while she's like answering phone calls. I'm like,
she just don't give a fuck. She's picking up the phone. She's like looking at him like, can you shut the fuck up? And he's just like jamming.
Just bopping. Falls down. Yeah. And now you see him and where she is and you probably like, should have listened. Woulda, shoulda, coulda.
Yeah.
But he's got Donda 2 coming out. Donda.
I mean, who knows it if we even come out soon. Wasn't Donda 1 meant to come out in like 2020? And
every single one of Kanye West's albums is released late. But he's a marketing genius. That's what all this Pete Davidson stuff, and he's a marketing genius fundamentally through and through. So the delayed release date, it's all on purpose. But anyway. But so what's interesting about this Donda album?
Oh, that you know how when people normally say when they release an album, available on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube. Yeah. He says it's not available on any of those. And to listen to it, you have to buy get this, $200 stem player.
What's a stem player?
It's basically like I mean, it looks quite strange, but it's basically like a little MP3 player thing that he's calling his own platform.
Oh, wow.
But would you pay $200 for any album?
I suppose I would.
Maybe for Juice WRLD, if he like.
Juice WRLD is your girl.
Resurrected, but I mean.
Chloe, we know we don't speak about that stuff. Again, he's a genius. He's going to make a shit ton of money. He's got one of the most cult-like followings in the world. People will buy this stem player 100%. It's
so weird.
The problem with it is that he says he wants to free his music from oppressive system.
Yeah.
Like today, artists only get 12% of the money the industry makes. And that makes sense. And, you know, people make 0.001 cent on a Spotify stream. So I get what he's saying, but that's the like everyday musician. Kanye West is not oppressed in any way. Hold on. Yeah, okay. Maybe racial oppression in America. Pump the brakes there, whitey. But you know what I mean? He's probably one of the richest people in the world.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't need more money.
It's not like, I need my money from Spotify. But having said that, what he said is cool. But it's like all these, it's like when, you know, he speaks about paying people more and then, you know, the shoes he makes are most certainly made with like questionable labor and people who aren't getting paid. So it's like,
Have you seen his new shoes that are coming out?
The Crocs. Crocodiles.
No, these literally look like they were made in the 1800s and then have then been like badly preserved. It's like it's like fabric and it's like all falling apart. They're all like these like weird brown
and Kanye's got
holes. They look, if we can find a picture, we'll insert it. They look terrible. And then you must now pay $200 extra. Then you get your $200 sampler and then new shoes.
Yeah.
So
he's got a cult-like following, and so that's all on Kanye West. But more on cults, weddings. What's up with weddings?
Yeah.
We were just at a wedding now. That's why some of you may have realized we didn't release an episode on Thursday. Apologies, forgive us. And we just went. It was the most fun time ever. But
it was wonderful.
There were also some moments where I was like, weddings are weird.
Weddings are
very weird.
Hella weird.
When was the last time you used the word hella?
Right now.
What's the show like? My co-host / girlfriend used the word hella, so that's all you need to know about KETS.
But yeah, weddings are just like a bizarre thing to be a part of. I think when you question it and you're like, why are we doing this? Like, where does this tradition come from? And then you really research it. So I've got a few here that we can talk through, but you just realize how outdated I think a lot of this stuff is, and we just do it without questioning it.
Yeah, well, I saw that on the internet. Like, tradition is peer pressure from dead people. And it's true. It's like, we must do it because everyone's done it before. Yeah. But yeah, so what are some of the things you picked up?
Okay. So the first one is like Bridesmaids and Groomsmen, right? Love them. It's like a very sweet sort of tradition. They often help with the planning and stuff like that. So in Roman law, this goes back long time ago.
Back in the day.
10 wedding guests had to dress similarly to the bride and the groom for good luck, but also the matching outfits were to confuse any evil spirits and also stop either of them from getting kidnapped.
Oh my God. What if I became cursed and I was just the best man? Suppose that's why you're the best man.
You got to take one for the team.
Take one for the team.
Yeah.
Jesus.
How crazy.
That's fucking insane.
I know.
Do you have more?
Yeah, I got.
Oh God, I thought.
Do you have more? I got more.
Oh, I'm on the edge of my seat here, intrigued with these crazy people theories.
Okay, so you know about the garter, right? You know what that is?
I don't even know what a garter is.
Okay.
I don't even know what. I just know about Cartier.
So a garter is like a little, like it's normally like a lacy strap around the bride's leg. Yeah.
Oh wow.
And usually I've watched. No, this sounds awful. I've watched videos about it. No, not like that. But I've seen, normally the bride will be on a chair and the broom. The groom will remove it with his teeth. You know, he like takes it off her leg and everyone's like, but like you're just like, this is very weird. And it's meant to be a sort of like appetizer before they both lose their virginity, you know, and it's kind of like this thing where they like throw it into the crowd and
you could get a sweaty
it's weird,
thigh
right?
sweat and that's disgusting.
Ew. Okay.
I didn't see, there was none of that. I'm happy about that.
Thank goodness there was none of that. Okay, I got one more.
That's a bit deeply unsettling.
Yeah, I know, it's very weird. And then you know about the tradition of not seeing the bride before the wedding,
yes,
right?
big in Muslim communities. Indian,
yeah.
Right? I'm joking.
But yeah, it's like not, it's like even the groom won't see them. It'll be the first time, the first look, they call it, whatever. So this goes back to when arranged marriages were more like business deals, right?
Still are.
Exactly. You've never seen the bride before. You don't know what she looks like. That's just why she has a veil on to cover her face.
Or she ugly.
No, that's literally it. Is that it would stop the groom from running away until right before they got married in case he thought she was too ugly.
I'm out.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Weird.
Yeah. But that's wonderful, Chloe. Thank you. That put a smile on my face, which you often do.
Will you marry me?
No. I want to go on Too Hot to Handle first. Become famous. But yeah, the weddings are just joyous occasions. You get lots of speeches that are always fun and insights into families. But then you have the family drama. And oh boy.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Won't say any more. But the wedding we went to was wonderful.
Yes. Congratulations, Julia and Jared. We love you long time. And hopefully you guys love each other for a long time and don't get divorced, because love is fleeting. Come on, people. I feel we've become a shameless society, and we give up and we chat shit and we do all this and we're like, look at me. Come on, let's get shame back in our lives. Feel ashamed to do some things and then don't speak about them. Be ashamed to be divorced. I mean, if you're going through a tough time and the children are in the way and you've got to look to make certain changes to improve your lives and others, then sign on the dotted line.
But remember, as Demi says, tough times never last.
Except if you're getting a divorce. Oh, wow. Marriage advice from people who aren't married. I love it. I'm always here for that.
Married yet.
All right. Time for overrated, underrated before we kick this door down.
I'm going to ask you.
Okay.
2
weeks in a row. I'm unprepared, but prepared.
I prepared, so you didn't have to prepare.
Okay, I haven't seen them. Let's have a look at this week's overrated, underrated. And before we do, again, thank you so much for listening, for subscribing, for liking. We like you, that you like us. So keep it going.
Keep it going.
To the moon.
To the moon. Okay, Sammy. Overrated or underrated? Weddings.
Weddings are underrated. Funerals
overrated.
Heard it here first.
Okay.
Oh boy.
I almost took a dog turn. Michael Masi, overrated or underrated?
Michael Masi is perfectly rated because he's been fired, as he should be. Ta-ta, bitch. You were bad at your job, and now you're gone. I've heard similar words before. Donald Trump has said similar words before, and Donald Trump has also been fired by the people of America. So, well done on becoming normal, Michael.
Okay. Paying $200 to listen to Donda too. Overrated or underrated?
Overrated. Overrated as fuck. Kanye West is a genius. He's underrated. I think he always will be, even though last week I said he was overrated.
Keep some consistency.
Yeah.
No, I would not pay $200 to listen to anyone's album.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel you would. If I released an album, you would.
Oh, yeah.
When it all falls down, Chi-town, stand up, Chi-town. Yeah.
Okay, we got one more. Overrated or underrated? Coca-Cola that tastes like space.
I'm inclined to say underrated because
who knows?
If it does taste like space, that would be cool.
Hella cool.
They're also very intelligent. They don't say like tastes like summer. I know what summer tastes like. I don't know what space tastes like. So like Steve Jobs always said, give the people not what they want, not what they need. Give them a full-on erection. Steve Jobs. Also another RIP. And second RIP for Betty White, because we mentioned her earlier in the show. Chloe, I think that just about wraps it up.
Sit down in a crack up.
It is a KETS crack up central.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's all that we have for you guys this week.
Why have you started crying?
I don't know, it just made me laugh. RIP.
Have you had a nervous breakdown?
Yeah, I think I have.
Nervous breakdowns, overrated or underrated?
Oh my God. Underrated.
A nervous breakdown, I'd say it's overrated.
I think a good nervous breakdown's good. We've said this on another podcast. I love crying.
I don't know about that. Chloe, pull it together. If you are listening, she has just burst out into tears. I swear this is not an abusive podcast/relationship. This has nothing to do with the creators of KETS. I don't know what's going on there, Chloe.
I was mouthing help me as a joke.
Oh, well, our listeners, Couldn't you?
I'm ready for my second coffee, so we'll say goodbye. Thank you for joining us this week. It's been a pleasure having you on Monday evening or whenever you're listening, really. Please, please, please leave a review. Maybe make it a bit funny if you want to on Apple Podcasts.
If you have the ability.
If it's 5 stars, we'll read it out. And leave a comment down on YouTube. We love reacting to your YouTube comments.
Check it out on Instagram. We'll do a bit more interactive stuff again. We forgot to do it this week. It's been a big rush, big mess. We've got different jobs, different commitments in the week, so that's exciting.
That's right. We're busy.
Yeah, but comes with a bit more pressure. Chloe, people that don't identify as male or female, they are non-binary. Gets worse every week.